Reading another one of your dirty girl books?
They're not dirty, they're romantic.
Mutiny from Behind.
Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Let's love, baby. Woo. There's nothing wrong with me loving you, baby, no, no. And giving yourself to me can never be wrong. If the love is true, oh baby. Come on, come on, come on, come on, darling. Come on, come on, come on, come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on, come on, darling. Come on, come on, come on. I wanna get it on. Come on, baby. I wanna get it on. You don't have to worry that it's wrong. If the spirit moves you, let me groove you. Good, let your love come down. Woo! If you believe in love, oh, I'm asking you, baby, to get it on with me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I ain't gonna worry. I ain't gonna push. I won't push you, baby. Come on, come on, come on, come on, darling. Come on, come on, come on, come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on, come on, darling. Come on, come on. I wanna get it on. This minute, I wanna get it on. You don't have to worry that it's wrong. Please, oh, please get it on, baby. If you believe in love, let's get it on. Woo, woo, woo. Do you know it? Now I'm being sanctified. Come on, darling, stop beating around the bush. Baby, I wanna get it on. You don't have to worry that it's wrong. If the spirit moves you, let me groove you. Woo! Let your love come down. Oh, get it on. Come on. If you want to love me, then let yourself go. Oh, baby, let's get it on right now.
The pirate's vessel slowly sailed into the harbor of San Sebastian Island. His saucy prisoners' alabaster breasts heaving with every motion of the tall, rigid ship.
Oh, I had to put that in there. I saw that clip. on a reel, and I said I gotta find that episode because that was right up our alley tonight. And so, if you don't know what show that was that 70s show. I've never actually watched the show itself. I saw clips. The song, if you'd like to know where the song comes from, it is a mashup that a YouTuber named Bill McClintock took from Marvin Gaye's "Get It, Let's Get It On" and Five Finger Death Punch. My goodness, my brain. Called The Bleeding, and mashed it together, and I loved it. It was one of my favorite mashups. I knew it would be perfect for tonight, and I just had to use it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I busted my hump trying to make that video, and I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of that video. So huge shout out to Kenneth H for helping me with a lot of those clips, the AI thumbnails, and looking it over for me, and Joy and Dame Dystopia and Nicole Happy's Hunt for just being a listening ear. I appreciate you guys while I was doing this. You guys are amazing. All right, I'm gonna scroll up. I have no regular intro for tonight. We're gonna shout out to our friends that we call partner channels: Dad Builds, Pete McDevitt Show, and Zippity Doo Dug. Other links can be found in the description of this video live stream, whichever way you are watching. Thank you for being there. I appreciate you. Let's get to chat before we get started. And I'm going to scroll to the top. And if I don't lose my voice tonight, it'll be a Christmas miracle, I swear. Give me a second. Let me just take a swig of my iced tea. I'm so nervous, like my throat's like closing up. Anyways, all right. I was gonna do a disclaimer first before I get the chat. I was gonna do a disclaimer at the beginning before I played the intro, and then I completely forgot to do the disclaimer. So you're gonna get the disclaimer now before I get into chat. But I'm just gonna pull it up. So, word of caution for tonight: this stream will not be G-rated at all. It won't even be PG. Maybe PG-13 with hints of a little bit more. So be forewarned that this stream is not for kids or teens under the age of certain maturity levels. The stream is going to be a journey. So please join me on the consistency train so that you don't miss anything. All right, let's go. And I was going to say let's go, and then I was going to air the intro, and I forgot to do all that. Anyway, future booktubes, if we're doing a spicy book, then I will do that, because I'm not going to hold back. We're reading a book. I'm giving a review, and that's the way it's going to go. I'm going to tell you like it is. So tonight's going to be no different. Tonight's going to be a little bit different, and I'll talk about that after we get the chat. Manny Uncanny, welcome in. Vicky Gillespie, hello. The Curtis family, Christopher, welcome in. Zippity Doo Dog with the disclaimer for me. Thanks, Doug. I appreciate it. Miss Mama D, Debbie Bernfeld. Miss Rob Lowe. I can never not call him Rob Lowe now, even though it's Rob Lowe. Welcome in, Rob. It's good to see you. Italian, welcome in, Anne Marie. It's good to see you too. And I'm going to keep scrolling until I find Miss Gloria Thibodeau. Hello there, welcome. And following her is Mr. Jason Thibodeau. I have the amazing Thibodeau duo tonight, and I'm super excited. Mr. Cakes 2112, welcome in. Cakesy. That's really weird saying that out loud, I'm not going to lie. Typing it is a little bit different than verbalizing it. It sounds a lot less cheesy when I type it. So there's that. Movie Mania Nick, welcome in. It's good to see you. Oh boy. It's going to be a night, guys. Right after this, I'm pushing you all over to the Pete McDevitt Show, because we're doing news and merch over there, and it's going to be just as crazy. Just telling you, I'm giving you a warning on that too. It's going to be something. It's Friday. So, yeah. Why would we expect anything less? I'm still scrolling. Pete, did I already say Pete McDevitt? Pete McDevitt show, welcome in. I was too busy talking about him. I forgot to highlight him. Welcome in, Pete. It's good. Good to see you. Miss Dame Dystopia. There she is. Thanks for being here, girly pop. This intro is fire. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really do. And I'm accused. Dean the Turkey Lakester. Welcome in, Dean. Julie C. Hello there. Welcome. Gonna be Ninja. Thank you. I appreciate it. This intro. Hello to everyone. And this is fire. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's not even my song, but I made the video. The link for the original video and song is in the description. So make sure after this, you go take a moment to listen to it, add it to your playlist, leave him a comment because he just kills it on all of his mashups. Just so good. Cece Rogers, welcome in. Good to see you, Cece. I hope you're doing well. Miss Mandy Mary, hello. How are you, my friend? It's good to see you. Mother Coconuts, hello, Miss Wendy. I love that I know your name now, but I still can never not call you Mother Coconuts because I love that name. That's so great. Awesome opening. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks, Pete. I'm still scrolling. I need to watch that show. Okay, well, back when it first came out, it wasn't up my alley, but I'm a little bit older now, and my taste buds have changed, so I think I might like it. So I think I'll add it to the watching agenda. Plymouth Rock, hello, PR, welcome in. It's good to see you. Hope you guys are doing well tonight. Teresa Squara, welcome in. I love saying that name too. I'll be your signboard anytime. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing. All of you. Every single one of you. Every last one of you. And everyone that's around you is amazing. Because you're all amazing. Just gonna... What are you? Oh my goodness. Thank goodness my kids are your age, Tina. I know. Right? Phew. Because, gosh. Tim Rumple, welcome in. It's good to see you. Guess I better leave then. I guess you caught I've reached the part of the chat that is responding to my disclaimer. So Papa Coconuts, welcome in. Good to see you. Another dynamic duo we have, along with Cakes and Mandy Mary. Not Cakes and Paige, as previously discussed in a certain mod chat, which I probably should have just kept quiet in mod chat. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm moving on. Earmuffs or buckle up. That's right. My virgin ears. Jonathan Chong, welcome in, JC. It's good to see you. Izzo's Place. Hey, Izzo. Welcome in. It's good to see you. Pete, I am not highlighting that, but nice try. Appreciate that one. Someone told me there was loop or love. Monroe Molly, Jen, welcome in. That's a big throwback. Oh my goodness. Okay, you know what's funny? I didn't do that on purpose. I wanted to be matchy, and so I pulled out the cherries. Was not intending that. Believe it or not. Sandy Byers, welcome in. It is good to see you. Oh boy. And I'm still scrolling. I'll get to someone new. If you're chatting, just keep chatting. If I missed you, I'll say hello. Okay, you're laughing at what I said. Okay, good. It really was a KBI in mod chat. Seriously, 100 points if we hear Moist tonight. You know what? I don't think we're gonna hear Moist. Oh wait, we just did. Okay. Thank you, Mama D. I appreciate that. I bet you look fabulous as well. Okay. So, tonight, we're going to talk about... This is the stop, by the way. I should probably give this intro. Once a month, we're going to do Booktube. It's going to be a sporadic... Hi, Patty. Hi, Auntie. My aunt, who is a fabulous author, by the way. Welcome in, Auntie. Good to see you. She's absolutely fantastic. She writes under the pen name of Annie Cabot, and her books are based. A lot of them are based New England, but her Captiva series is also based out in Captiva Islands, which is really good, I have to say. I might be a little biased, but not really, because I love it. So make sure that if you want a good book to read, you go check out Annie Cabot's, all her books. She's got Periwinkle series, Captiva series, among other things. So, anyways, shout out to my fabulous aunt. Okay, so tonight, in future episodes, not this one, but in future episodes, we're going to be tackling a book. One book review. I might be doing it solo. I might have a guest on with me. June's guest of the month will be Miss Dame Dystopia, and it's going to be. I'm so excited for that because it's a classic. We're going to do a classic, but it touches on religion and sex and violence, everything that we're also going to talk about tonight. And so we're going to be doing the Scarlet Letter in June, and I'm super excited for that because I read the book back in high school, so it's been 20 plus years. And the movie with Gary Oldman, we're going to talk about that too. So we already have it all planned out, and I'm super excited because I got this vision for it. Next month, I haven't decided what we're going to do. I might do solo. I might do one. Nicole Happy's Haunt is going to come in and do a book review with me. We're going to read a book together. I'll probably have Joy S. come on with me, join me 1 month. If it gets to be where maybe I feel like doing a pop-up because I've read a book and I just want to go solo with it, then maybe I'll just pick another Friday and do it at 7:00. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so there will be thoughts. There will be thoughts. All of our thoughts, every thought, because it's just, we're going to be raw and authentic, and we're just going to be us. We're going to be human, okay? We're going to allow the room to be human. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Speaking of being human, I want to talk about tonight. Talking about tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the books that you've seen in the intro video. But a lot of comparison to the Bible. And it's really funny. It's like you're a Christian? It's like, the Bible's not naughty. Oh, honey pie. The Bible is, let's put it this way. I thought about being tactful tonight. I'm not going to swear, obviously, if there's any vulgar language in any of these books that I read a clip out of. I will substitute the language so that YouTube does not shut me down. But let's make no mistake of it. I was going to be thoughtful, but guys, tactful. The Bible isn't even tactful. The Bible is vulgar. It's imagery. It's pure, raw, human nature. But it's also filled with love and hope and faith and redemption. And I want to talk about all those things tonight. I'm going to try to keep it to 8:00 because I want to get some things done before I hop on with Pete and Doug and Molly. And is it Theme Park Giant, Pete? You guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Who's going to be joining us tonight on Pete's channel. So we're going to try to keep it to 8:00. We'll see what happens. Triple Ace Box, welcome in. Annika, welcome in. I always have a different name for her every time, and it's a thing. It's an inside thing, but also not really. But anyways, so yeah, that's that. All right, so let's dive in. Let's just dive in. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna go in head first. There are a couple of points that I want to make as well. In the midst of this, Dapper Canuck, welcome in. Ahoy hoy. Good to see you. See, Pete, a real Canadian, not me. This is a real Canadian. Jonathan Chong, a real Canadian, not me. Are you listening? Are you listening? You got it? Are you listening? Whoa. Sorry. Jimmy Eats World popped in my head. Point what type? Wait, what did I say? I'm going to stay focused. All right. So, what do you mean, Tina? What do you mean the Bible is vulgar? What do you mean the Bible isn't tactful? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Let me read you a little bit. You ready? This is out of Genesis 19. And it's the story of Lot. If you don't know who Lot was Abraham's. Wasn't his brother, was it? Oh my gosh, how did I just forget that? I was just reading the story. How did my mind just blank? Somebody who knows who Lot is, please tell me who he was to Abraham or Abram before Abram became Abraham. Anyways, it's in the book of Genesis. Lot was Lot, and Lot was doing Lot things. So I'm going to tell you what Lot was doing. Lot is living in Sodom and Gomorrah. We are not going to talk about Sodom and Gomorrah because that is a whole nother can of worms that Tina is not going to tackle. Nephew, thank you. I knew it wasn't his brother. I was like, nope, that's not right. It's his nephew. We are not going to tackle, so on another day, maybe we would tackle Sodom and Gomorrah. It's probably not going to be what you think. It's probably not going to be what you think because I have a lot of thoughts that on Sodom and Gomorrah that a lot of Christians do not have. The majority of Christians probably do not have. But anyways, I digress. Mark Lagenkamp, welcome in, Mark. It's good to see you. If you're just coming in, start over. Just start over. We're on a train. If you come in now, I mean, you'll pick it up. But, oh my goodness. I just don't want to repeat myself. Read the disclaimer if you don't mind that Doug is so graciously put in for me. But if you're just coming in real quick, one sentence, tonight is rated mature. There it is, my one line. Tonight's rated mature. And yes, it includes talking about the Bible. And oh my goodness, let's get into it now before I completely go off the squirrel train. Genesis 19. Lot is living in Sodom and Gomorrah, and these two outside men come to him. And the men of the village who were acting in, how do I want to word this? Basically homosexual actions. These were men who saw other men coming to Lot's house and wanted these men. Just to put it bluntly, they wanted these men for sex. And so they knock on Lot's door, and Lot comes out, and they're demanding that Lot releases these men for their pleasure. And Lot comes out, he goes outside, and he goes to meet them, and he shuts the door behind him, and he says, "No, my friends, don't do this wicked thing. Look, I have 2 daughters. I have 2 daughters who have never slept with a man. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do what you like with them. But do not do anything to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof." So first of all, these men come under the protection of Lot's roof, but what about his daughters? They don't get the same treatment from their own father. This just blows me away. And that's the focus of this passage right now, that I was just like, when I read this, and I've read this 100 times over, but when I read this struck me, and I was like, thanks a lot, Dad. Like, what the heck? And, like, is it right? Disneyland fan Steve, welcome in. It is a crazy story, Steve. Seriously. Who doesn't speak Southern? What am I missing? Anyways, so yeah, that's Lot must be he's such a stand-up guy, let me just say. Gonna protect these strangers, but not my own kids. And I'm just gonna sacrifice my family to the wolves. I mean, it's one thing to be hospitable, right? But when you don't protect your own family, that's a whole nother topic, and that just kind of blew me away. But wait, there's more. That's right, Dapper Canuck, there is. If we scroll down, that was verses 6 through 8. If we scroll down a little bit to verse 30, we get to talk about Lot and his daughters. What about Lot and his daughters, you ask? Oh, let me tell you. Let me tell you about these daughters of his, if you don't know. That's true. It's true, Vicky. I am drinking out of my hairspray can. It's my Revere hair. Where's Jeff Condon? It's my Revere hair mug. Or tumbler, I should say. Ready? Verse 30. Lot and his 2 daughters left Zoar, and I'm going to mispronounce these words, so just bear with me, and settled in the mountains, for he was afraid to stay in Zoar. Zoar, whatever. Anyways, he and his 2 daughters lived in a cave. One day, the older daughter said to the younger, I can't even spit this out, our father is old, and there is no man around here to give us children, as is the custom all over the earth. Let's get our father to drink wine and then sleep with him and preserve our family line through our father. Okay. Sure. Nicole, happy's haunt. Welcome in. Hello, hello. Well, there goes my years of Catholic school. Yeah. Oh, don't worry. It gets worse. That night, they got their father to drink wine, and the older daughter went in and slept with him. He was not aware of it when she lay down or when she got up. Like borderline necromancy, I feel like, right now. The next day, the older daughter said to the younger, last night, I slept with my father. Let's get him to drink wine again tonight. And you go in and sleep with him so we can preserve our family line through our father. Oh, we're on a repeat. We're on a repeat. Sure, why not? Exactly. Sure, why not? So they got their father to drink wine that night also, and the younger daughter went in and slept with him. Surprise. Again, he was not aware of it when she lay down or when she got up. Again. Borderline necromancy. So both Lot's daughters became pregnant by their father. Because why not? The older daughter had a son. She named him Moab. He is the father of the Moabites of today. The younger daughter also had a son. She named him Ben-Ami. I can't. I've been reading these passages since I was in elementary school. You think I'd understand them by now? No. He is the father of the Ammonites of today. Okay, so there's a lot. The logic is baffling. And I compare these writings, right? And I wonder how it would be written if it was written in today's wordage, because Ben on me. Yeah, I mean, because that makes a lot of sense, Mark. So grandpa is daddy. Great. Yeah, right? This is grandpa's dad, and dad is grandpa, and yay. I just wonder how it would compare to you could probably go read this verse. This is out of the NIV, by the way. If you go and pick up the Message version or a simplified version of these writings, I wonder how it was. I didn't go to compare. No, we could, but you can go and look. But today's verbiage would be listed in the criminal code. That's true. That's quite true. It would be under saucy, spicy romance novels, which we'll get into. It would be listed, and that's the whole point of this. This would be listed. Don't forget, Tina, a lot of the translation used words of today that they did not have then. That's true. That's true. And so then you got to wonder, I thought about going back to the Hebrew and seeing what the original Hebrew text said about this. And I could very easily go and find and break it down, but maybe I'll save that for a future episode where we actually revisit these again and we break it down in the Hebrew. NET translation is great. I've never heard of that version, actually. Welcome to the human gene pool, right? Seriously. All right. So that's the story of Lot. There's been discussion in studying Abraham and Lot. And it's just this history is really interesting. Why did Lot want to sacrifice up his daughters in the first place to those men that came? Men that didn't even want women in the first place. So it's what was he thinking? Was he doing it because he knew that they wouldn't want the women, or like what was going through his mind? Was it the hospitality factor? Was it just not caring about his family? Is he a complete narcissist? I have no idea. Like, what in the world? Did he know what his daughters were like, and he was like, let me get rid of these chicks? Like, I have no idea. Like, it does not say, it doesn't specify, which is really interesting to me, that this is just what we get. This is the text that we get, right? So anyways, Surf Bomb John, welcome in. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. But yeah. Anyways, if you're just coming in, rewind. We're on a train. We are on a train. We're on a journey. If you're just coming in and you just want to stick to where we are, then here's my one sentence disclaimer. Tonight is mature content that includes the Bible. So buckle up, buttercups, because we're on a ride. All right. Next story I want to talk about. Cain and Abel. If you don't know who Cain and Abel are, you should. They're brothers, unlike Lot and Abraham, which we have already established. Cain and Abel. Let's talk about Cain and Abel, right? I'm going to word something, and then I'm going to reword it how I feel like it would be worded in today's lingo, right? All right, so it says, again, the NIV version. This is, oh gosh, what chapter is this? Shoot. I forgot to write down what chapter it was. It's in Genesis, though, and it's this is starting at verse 4. Adam made love to his wife, Eve. I'm not even going to word it in today's lingo. It is what it is. And she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. She said, with the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man. Later, she gave birth to his brother Abel. Now, Abel kept flocks, and Cain worked the soil. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering to the Lord. And Abel also brought an offering, fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry, and his face was downcast. Then the Lord said to Cain, why are you angry? Now let's get one thing straight. God knows what is in Cain's heart. He doesn't need to ask him, but he does anyhow, as does God with all of humanity. He knows exactly what's going on inside of us, but he will still sit there in front of us and he will say, what is going on? Because he just wants us to tell him. He wants that connection. That's what he wants. He says, why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door, and it desires to have you, but you must rule over it. Now Cain said to his brother Abel, let's go out to the field. While they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother and killed him. I feel like there's so much in between that we didn't get in the middle of that story that I'm just hungry for, like, what happened? What happened in between God talking to Cain and then Cain going out and taking his brother into the field and killing him? Like, and if I study this a little bit further, I bet there's an answer, and I'm sure there is. You study the Bible with the Holy Spirit reveals things to you. It's commentary upon commentary, but that's not the point of this. It's just wanted to read this. Then the Lord said to Cain, where's your brother Abel? Again, God knows exactly where Abel is, because Abel is now dead and Abel is in the hands of God. Abel was always in the hands of God. But anyways. And then Cain replies, I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? But jealousy is the crux. Exactly. Jealousy is the crux. Which it didn't have to be. If Cain, I feel like, had just opened up to God and told God what he was feeling on the inside, what was happening. Because I think that's the point of this whole thing. Cain is having jealousy. Cain is struggling. And God goes to Cain and gives him the opportunity to open up to God and tell him what is going on. And instead, Cain chooses to close himself off and kill his brother. So he says, I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? And the Lord said, what have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are under a curse and driven from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it would no longer yield its crops for you. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth. Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is more than I can bear. Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be restless. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. But the Lord said to him, not so. Anyone who kills Cain will suffer a vengeance 7 times over. Then the Lord put a mark on Cain, so that no one who found him would kill him. So Cain went out from the Lord's presence and lived in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Wait, is the word keepa in the Bible? It is now. Now that I'm reading it. I don't. So, Rob Law, is this like wrestling? Is this wrestling lingo? Who's the Undertaker? Like the devil Undertaker? Like the death Undertaker? I just don't know. Anyways, all right. So there's Cain and Abel. Okay, so we have a little bit about Cain and Abel. And now here's my favorite story. Yes, everybody. Okay, thank you. I wanted to make sure I was on the right track. All right. The next story, and I think this is... It's not my last story. But you know what? Instead of giving you my last story, I'm going to bring in a line. No, I'm going to say that for afterwards. Anyways, I'm bouncing back and forth. All right. My favorite story out of the Bible, the story of David and Bathsheba. Why is it my favorite story? Because out of the lineage of something that happened so vulgar came Jesus Christ, a savior. I love this story. All right. This is, gosh, I forgot the book. It's like 1 Samuel, I think, and it's chapter 11. In the spring, at time when kings go off to war, which indicates David is supposed to be off to war with his army right now. David sent Joab out with the king's men and the whole Israelite army. So he sends Joab instead. I think Joab is his right-hand man, if my memory serves me correct. They destroyed the Ammonites and besieged Rabbah, but David remained in Jerusalem. One evening, David got up from his bed and walked around on the roof of the palace. From the roof, he saw a woman bathing. The woman was very beautiful, and David sent someone to find out about her. The man said, she is Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, and the wife of Uriah the Hittite. Then David sent messengers to get her. She came to him, and he slept with her. Now she was purifying herself from her monthly uncleanliness. Cannot talk. Then she went back home. I want to say this means that he slept with her while she had her period. Tell me I'm wrong. Because I've read this 100 times over, and I never realized that. Just like that, he slept with her. Because I've never seen that parentheses in my life. The parentheses. But anyways. Then she went back home, and the woman conceived and sent word to David saying, I am pregnant. Nailed it. I thought so. Which is really interesting. Really interesting. I have nothing against that, by the way. Again, mature content. I have nothing. It doesn't gross me out. It might gross some other people out, but that doesn't gross me out. That's not the part that grosses me. Nothing about this grosses me out, okay? Let's get that straight. Just all my flabbers have been gasted. Because just when I think I've read this thing over and over again, then I get that little parentheses, and then I'm like, huh. I never realized that before. Fun times is right. So David sent this word to Joab. Send me Uriah the Hittite. Because there's more, by the way. And Joab sent him to David. When Uriah came to him, David asked him how Joab was, how the soldiers were, and how the war was going. Now, if David was where he was supposed to be, he would not be in this predicament in the first place. And David said to Uriah, go down to your house and wash your feet. So Uriah left the palace, and a gift from the king was sent after him. But Uriah slept at the entrance to the palace with all his master's servants and did not go down to his house. David was told Uriah did not go home, so he asked Uriah, haven't you just come from a military campaign? Why didn't you go home? Uriah said, the ark and Israel and Judah are staying in the tents, and my commander Joab and my lord's men are camped in the open country. How could I go to my house, eat, drink, and make love to my wife? Here's a stand-up guy. As surely as you live, I will not do such a thing. Because what's David trying to do? He's trying to cover up the pregnancy to make it Uriah's. It's not going the way that David wants it to, right? Then David said to him, stay here one more day, and tomorrow I will send you back. So Uriah remained in Jerusalem the day and the next. At David's invitation, he ate and drank with him, and David made him drunk. But in the evening, Uriah went out to sleep on his mat among his master's servants. He did not go home. Silly Uriah. In the morning, David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it with Uriah. In it he wrote, put Uriah out in the front where the fighting is fiercest. 'Cause yay. Then withdraw from him, so he will be struck down and die. So while Joab had the city under siege, he put Uriah at a place where he knew the strongest defenders were. When the men of the city came out and fought against Joab, some of the men in David's army fell. Moreover, Uriah the Hittite died. Womp, womp, womp. Uriah Carey. Wow. However, that biological math isn't mathing for conception purposes. Well, it's not impossible, though. And maybe it was different back then. Maybe back then bodies were different. I have no idea. That's the only thing I've got. Damn, it's the only thing I've got. Because sounds like something from Gladiator is absolutely correct, which I have not seen, but it does sound like it would be. There's always option B, though, in that scenario. Balloon nut. What? Yeah. Joab, all right, so let's go on. Joab sent David a full account of the battle. He instructed the messenger, when you have finished giving the king this account of the battle, the king's anger may flare up, and he may ask you, why did you get so close to the city to fight? Didn't you know they would shoot arrows from the wall? Very Lord of the Rings-ish, by the way. Who killed Abimelech, son of Jerub Besheth? We're going with that. Didn't a woman drop an upper millstone on him from the wall so that he died in Thebez? Why did you... I really should have researched these names and how to pronounce them before I did this. Why did you get so close to the wall? If he asks you this, then say to him, moreover, your servant Uriah the Hittite is dead. The messenger set out, and when he arrived, he told David everything Joab had sent him to say. The messenger said to David, the men overpowered us and came out against us in the open. We drove them back to the entrance of the city gate. Then the archers shot arrows at your servants from the wall, and some of the king's men died. Moreover, your servant Uriah the Hittite is dead. David told the messenger, say this to Joab, don't let this upset you. The sword devours one as well as another. Press the attack against the city and destroy it. Say this to encourage Joab. When Uriah's wife heard that her husband was dead, she mourned for him. After the time of mourning was over, David had her brought to his house, and she became his wife and bore him a son. But the thing David had done displeased the Lord. I'm going with it. Wasn't a one and done situation. Yeah. Um, yeah. Why do I love that story? I kind of already said it. I said it. But if you read more about David, you read about his redemption story and his repentance, and he tries to make it right, but there's still consequences, right? There's always consequences to our actions. Tis Davy. That's right. But I love that story because, through that adultery, through that murder, through that evil, I guess we want to call it. Can you really call it evil? Yes, you call it evil. Because God takes everything. He takes bad things, he makes them good. So out of that bad came good. Through that lineage, through that son that they bore, came Jesus Christ. And that's why I love that story. And that's what the Bible is full of. And I should have read this one first. This is from Ezekiel 23:20. There she lusted. This is about talking about more like the country of Israel, and their betrayal against God and whatnot. But this verbiage was just like, I had never read this before. There she lusted after her lovers, whose genitals were like those of donkeys and whose emission was like that of horses. Okay. And I'm reading these, and these aren't the only stories. And it's really funny because I remember about 14 years ago, my daughter was a wee little babe, a wee babe. Or in Scotland, they would say a wee babby, which I love. I love that. Sometimes a horse is just a horse, of course. Ryan Rowe, welcome in as I'm losing my voice. I'm not going to give the disclaimer. Read the disclaimer, Ryan Rowe. We're talking humanity, Bible, saucy books, which I haven't even gotten into yet. So there's a lot. When my daughter was an infant, our pastor at the time, he did this Bible study, and he talked about a lot of vulgarity. He was very heavy on the vulgarity of the Bible and like these stories, talking about the stories. Things that I had never heard in my life. Like, why didn't my pastor of my old church talk about any of this? Or maybe I was just too young and I didn't understand. I don't know. But I don't remember ever hearing about some of these vulgar stories. These ones, yes, but there's more. there's even more. It just kind of blows you away. And as I'm looking over these stories, there's a couple points that I want to make. But before I do that, I want to talk about just how, I don't even know which. There's like 3-4 different segments that I want to talk about. I don't even know which one to lead into first. So forgive me if I'm a little all over the place. But you read these stories of the Old Testament, right? And as I'm reading these stories, okay, and I'm thinking, my gosh, the Old Testament of the Bible shows us every which way we could fail. Every single which way. It sets up a whole book of Leviticus, a whole book of laws of things that we can't do and how we don't live up to them and how we can't live up to them. It's story of murder and, sex and adultery and everything you can possibly imagine in this book. And then I look at the New Testament. And then I would sit there and I would go, where did those stories go? Where did those stories go? And the realization kind of hit me was just like, that was the whole point of the Old Testament, was to show us our human nature, to show us how broken we are, and the New Testament was to show us just how much we needed a savior from it. And yeah, we're still broken. We're not perfect. But the whole point of Jesus coming in the midst of that lineage that was so filled with adultery and murder, sex, adultery, murder, was to show us that sin is inevitable, but so is God. So is Jesus. He was there. And he was going to be there, and God had a plan. And when I connect all these dots, it blows me away. It absolutely blows me away. It's almost 8 o'clock, and I haven't even gotten into like some of the content. Like I could. All right. Has anybody ever read? And all right. So here's where this whole thing started from. This whole idea started of me wanting to do this. Is I was reading a romance novel. Yes, had sex in it, obviously. It's a romance novel. And I've heard about these like romance novels or these spicy novels where like there's no content. I haven't come across any novel like that that's just pure unadulterated sex. Every smut, God, it's been called smut so many times. Any spicy smut romance novel that I have read has content, and it has depth, and it has character development. And 50 Shades of Plaid, even 50 Shades of Grey has a character development and a story behind it. And I love the stories of humanity. I love it because it's raw, it's authentic, it's human nature, and it's beautiful to me. It's beautiful that we have these stories of these things happening, and it's obviously not beautiful that, Abel got murdered, but there's more to it. There's stuff, there's a lesson there. There's a reason, and there's the humanity of it. Of if Cain just talked to God and connected with God, that might not have happened, and so many things in the Bible of God showing us if we had just connected with God, then maybe that wouldn't have happened. And the whole point of that is to talk about these romance novels that I read, because they're filled with the same exact things that we're reading in this Bible. They're filled with sex and violence and everything else under the sun. But they're also filled with growth and character development and redemption. But you have the Bible, who's the inspired word of God. It's literally the word. It's literally Jesus is the word, written by human hands, but inspired by God. But then you have these other books who are written by human hands, by a very, very messed up and broken humanity. But reading both of these books, and that's right, I was trying to tell you, the whole reason this thought came to me of doing this series was because I was reading a book, and my husband was like, you're reading another smut novel or something, and he just made some snarky comment, and I was like, he has a finger, and it's not any of the other four besides the middle one, but not really, because I don't do that, unless I'm really angry. Anyways, it's a rare occasion, but I digress. You got to read more, seriously. But when you made that comment, I was like, it's just really got me thinking, like, you're making fun of this romance novel that I'm reading, but you read the Bible. We read the Bible. Do you know what you're reading in the Bible? And that just, when someone kind of comes at me with that kind of sarcasm, like, I want to snap right back and be like, nope, we're not doing this, and this is how it's going to go. And that's the whole point of doing this, is because my defiance, yay me. But I didn't sit there and just go, I just want to do this. I sat here and I talked to God, and I said, Lord, I want to bring 2 points. I want to bring a couple of points to people. And the more I processed it with God, because that's what I do. I talk to God and a lot of the things that happen around me. He gave me these words, of everything that I'm saying. And, the realization also hit me as I'm reading these books, whether I'm reading the Bible or whether I'm reading a regular novel. You feel something when you read a book, and I feel something that I don't normally feel. I feel alive. Does anybody else have that? Does anybody else get that? Even if you're watching a movie, like when you're but it's more for me with books, or if a movie has a really good plot, obviously. But books, when you're reading, there's so much that movies leave out. But when you get that content in that book and you read it and you digest it and dissect it and digest it, it just makes you feel like a human. Like it makes you feel, when you feel so numb so much of the time, it makes you feel those raw human emotions. And I love that. And even as I read these romance novels, I literally talk to God through them. Okay, Lord, this is making me feel like this. This is how I feel about this. What is this? Because a lot of the time it drags up something inside of me that I haven't dealt with inside myself. A couple of these books that I read, one book in particular, two books I will say in particular. One of them is called Credence, which I'm not going to get into because I'm going to do a book review on this. Books are definitely more descriptive. Yes, books are always better, 100%. Absolutely, ladies, absolutely. Credence. I love this book. I'm not going to say too much on my favorites, but the main character is a girl, and that's all I'm going to say for now. But everything this girl goes through, and the way that she talks about how she feels, and even if she doesn't say how she feels, it's the things that she realizes about herself or the things around her. It hits me, and I could relate to this character. And there's I do want to highlight one line in the book. Nicole, close your ears if you plan on finishing this book and doing this review with me, or even if you don't want to do this review with me and you still intend on finishing the book, close up your ears, because this is going to be a spoiler alert. But I have to. Where is it? I have to talk about this. I just relate to this so much. Where is it? Okay. All right. So she's talking. She says, "A sprinkle of snow falls, little wet flakes hitting my face as I close the door, and I stop, tipping my face up to the cloudy sky. I love this. The air seeps into my pores, caresses my face, making those loose hairs peeking out of my hat float and flit in the breeze. For a moment, everything is quiet, except for the sound of the snowflakes hitting the 12 inches of beautiful, untouched blanket on the deck. Snowfall isn't like rainfall. Rain is passion. It's a scream. It's my hair sticking to my face as I wrap my arms around him. It's spontaneous and it's loud. Snowfall is like a secret. Its whispers are firelight. It's whispers and firelight and searching for his warmth between the sheets at 2 a.m. when the rest of the house is asleep. It's holding him tightly and loving him slowly." I open my eyes, breathing out a puff of steam into the air and watching it dissipate. And that's all I'm going to read from that book. She just says a lot of things, but that was one of my favorite things and the most poetic thing that I think, one of the most poetic things I've ever read in a book. And so spice novels aren't just spice novels. There's also gentleness in them too. And there's self-awareness and realization, and there's beauty. And of course the boys are like raindrops falling on my head. When I hear this, I think of Snow Falling on the Cedars book movie. I've never heard of that. Nicole, you're safe now. I got you, Nicole. Someone tell me when it's okay to turn up the volume. Thanks, Nicole. Thanks, Dame. But honestly, I can't wait for you to finish that book, Nicole, because that book broke me. It broke me into a million. Another book that broke me And again, this is interesting. So this book is called Mountain Boss. And it's just as vulgar as Credence, the excerpt that I read from the last one. But did I highlight any of the... Yep. Okay. And I felt this, and I'm going to omit the swear. I clenched my fists, grit my teeth, and scream silently in my head. And the desperate feeling that I felt then, that I still feel now, it's so effing real. It's so effing real. The need for freedom and escape, but also for someone to take care of me. The need for someone to just take care of me. For someone to give to me freely with abandon. For someone to share without strings or guilt. For a place to call home. To really call home. I want to tell my younger self that it's okay. That when we get out and make our way, I want to tell her that we find what we need. I want to lie to her. I want to tell her that we've built that house. I want to tell her that I have a big walk-in shower, that our life gets better, and that we have someone to take care of us. My vision blurs, and I peel off from high school me, becoming two people again. And I know I can't lie to her, because I can't lie to myself. I watch, feeling useless, as younger me wipes at her eyes and starts walking. And that's all I'm going to say, because then I'll ruin the rest of the book. But it's a good book, and it's not just a smut novel. It's called Mountain Boss, and I just finished it, and I love it, and I'm going to do that review. I might do that review next week. I might just skip the every other week thing and do that next week. We'll see. I love that book that much. Those two books, that and Credence, are books that hit me, that really resonated me and hit me here the most. But anyways, in reading those books, and reading the Bible, Joy S., welcome in, Joy. It's good to see you. Joy, rewind. I'm telling everybody that's just coming in, rewind. Just rewind. So, because there's a whole journey that we went down. All right, so let me scroll, make sure I get everything. All right, so in conclusion, I'm not going to go much longer at all. In conclusion, we have two sides of this. We have the Christian side of this, and we have the non-Christian side of this. And I want to talk for a second about... I guess we're going to start with the Christian side. You have the Christians that completely stay away from this type of stuff, which baffles me, because it makes me wonder if they read their Bibles and realize that things that we read, that we write about today, we read these books, these novels, the same content is in the Bible. And you get those same people that don't have that realization, that become overly strict parents. Like, they don't let their kids eat certain cereals. They're not allowed to go trick-or-treating on Halloween. They're not allowed to do this, that, and the other thing. And it's always just baffled my mind, because I feel like as Christians, sometimes we look at all of this stuff and we operate in fear rather than out of love and in wanting to understand. There's no fear in love. There's no need to fear anything. When you have God and you have the Holy Spirit, He fights every battle for you when you bring things to Him. He goes before you. He goes with you. He sits with you. He walks with you. He is amongst you. So that's the message that I have, as a Christian to other Christians. The Bible says, submit yourself then to God and resist the devil and he will flee from you. It doesn't say fear the devil, because he's not to be feared, because God is bigger. And anything he wants to throw at you, is nothing compared to what God will do to him. He who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. So God wants us to be approaching things in prayer and discernment and love. And if you lack wisdom or discernment, ask for it. If you lack love, ask for it. But there is no fear in love. I've learned so much more reading these books, along with reading the Bible, than if I were just walking around this earth, not knowing, continuing to not realize who I am as a person, or not knowing myself inside. I ask questions, I ask him questions, and I get answers, and I revelations, and self-awareness starts to bud and bloom and turns into this beautiful thing. And the last thing that I wanted to touch on, make sure I get all that right. I have to scroll up because I put it up here. I want to talk about those people that will say, I could never step foot into a church because it would fall apart, it would fall down. That drives me bat crap crazy. Why does it drive me bat crap crazy? I've been in a church almost my entire life. I've been behind the scenes of what happens in church leadership, and the petty fights and the bickering and the unchristian-like ways people act in the church. And there are people that are outside the church that act better than some of those people inside the church. The church is a hospital for the sick, for the spiritually sick. Don't ever think that you couldn't set foot into a church because it would burn down or it would fall apart. When you walk on these very streets that you walk on, when you get in your car, when you wake up in the morning, God's there. He's not just in the church. Sometimes he's not even in the church. And I wanted to bring that up because when you read all these things, if you can read the Bible and see what happens in the Bible, that stuff is in the Bible. The stuff that goes on inside of you that you think is going to burn a church down or make it fall down if you step into it, that Bible sits in that church with all that stuff inside. Same stuff that you have inside of you. But guess what? God's still standing. It's not even about the church, because the church is inside of you. God is still standing. Don't be afraid. And I know sometimes it's not really about fear. It's about fear of ourselves and of somebody seeing us or God seeing us. He sees us no matter what. Whether you realize it or not, he sees inside of us. He loves us. No matter what he sees. Because he created us. And that's where all my thoughts went. We all need love, exactly. There's nothing wrong with admitting that, Dame. And that's it. I have talked your ear off long enough. I said everything that I wanted to say. Everything was written down. I want to dive more into these stories, and I want to dissect, because that's what I love to do. I want to just dissect these stories. I really don't like this. I'm like all scrunched up. Hi. Anyways, that was it. That was it. The book, that's the side of Booktube. We're going to get into books next time. Next time, I don't have a next time yet. What is it? It's April 4th. I might do one by the end of April. Another one, we'll see. Maybe April, nope, maybe not April 25th, because I won't even be in the state. So it might be May 2nd. We'll see. And I might do that Mountain Man book. But yeah. I hope this is what you were expecting, or I hope it was more than what you're expecting. I don't know what you guys were expecting. But thanks for being here with me and sticking it out with me. Through me losing my voice. Go over to Pete, 9 o'clock. Can someone put Pete's link in the channel? In the chat. and I want to do something really quick. Make sure that I'm muted. Hold on one second. I need to do something. Bear with me. Okay. If anyone wants to, thanks, Doug. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I should have did that a while ago, Dame. Sorry. All right. I'm gonna just tell you the same thing I tell you guys every time I go live. Know that you are loved and that you are appreciated and that you are a blessing. And if you are struggling to do anything, pray it out. Talk to someone. We're here. So think of a wonderful thought. any merry little thought. My voice is gonna be like, and be kind to everyone, because you don't know who's going through a battle that you know nothing about. I'll see you guys over on Pete's.